The state, when you say it, you will undoubtedly have a few sentences to say about it. The state is a phenomenon that constantly appears in our social life. But what does the concept of the state tell about? What is the state? What are the elements of the state? When asked questions about what are the features of the state, it may not be possible to answer if it pauses a little. However, the civic duties of everyone living in a modern country include basic rights and decency of an official. That's why we have compiled all the details for you in this sense. The state is a form of political and administrative organization. It is a concept that is studied in many ways from a philosophical, sociological and psychological point of view. There are theories and works of numerous philosophers, mainly Magenta, about the concept of the state. What is the state? The state is the political organization form of societies. The state also refers to all of these state organizations. In other words, the state is the largest legal entity. A state is defined as a legal entity formed by a politically organized nation or community of nations on a piece of land and depending on the land. Usually, for the existence of the state, a cultural deck is considered a condition between the individuals of the nation that founded the state. But only the condition of cultural unity will not be enough for the life and sustainability of the state. It is known that today there are about 200 states in total all over the world. As an example of a state, we can mention such states as France, Germany, Switzerland, the Republic of Turkey, the Federal Republic of Germany, Canada, the United States, Peru, Lebanon, and Japan. What are the elements of the state? What elements must exist in order for a state to be mentioned? What are the elements of the state? Looking at the definition of the concept of the state, it is understood that there are actually some essential elements of the state. We can list the elements of the state as follows. The state must first of all have a country. In other words, the state can continue to exist on a piece of land that is legitimate and accepted by the community of states. The other element of the state is the human community, which is expressed by such concepts as nation, people. But not every person can be considered a citizen of a state. For example, a tourist who is a citizen of a foreign country who has been in the country for a short time is not legally a citizen of that state. This second element defines people who are connected to the state by the bond of citizenship. The third and mandatory element of the state is sovereignty. A non-independent state, a state is unacceptable. It is also not legally recognized by the international state community.